If you're anyone like me, you've played a lot of Alterkill, perhaps too much Alterkill. But what if you could make your own Alterkill? This series will take you from a complete blank install, vanilla, to your own custom level that you can make yourself. So first episode, we'll just go over how to install Rude, the tool for creating levels, how to install Angry, the tool for playing levels, and how to install a few helpful quality of life packages that I recommend. Quick table of contents for this video. First, I'm going to talk about installing Angry, the level loader. Then I'm going to talk about installing Rude, the level editor, and then finally talking about the custom packages. So if you already have Angry, skip to this timestamp, and if you already have Rude, stick to this timestamp. So let's talk about R2Modman. So R2Modman is necessary for loading Angry. You can download it from this website, which I'll link in the description. This is the only official website for downloading R2Modman. Don't go to any other ones. You're going to click manual download. You're going to right click, click either you have 7-zip or your normal file explorer, click extract files. Okay. Open. Then you're going to launch R2Modman setup.exe. Only for me, just default installation location. Finish and run R2Modman, and that should be it. Now for Angry, you're going to click on Alterkill, which you can search up. You can set this as your default if this is the only game that you mod. You can set default profile. You're going to go to online, download Angry level loader by Eternals team. Click download, latest version, download with dependencies, and this will install everything that you need to run Angry. Then go to installed. You should see all of these and start modded. With Angry installed, we can move on to your Rude installation, which is created using Vanity Reprised releases. Downloading the Windows release of Vanity Reprised. Opening your downloads folder, extracting files. Then you're going to go to your open folder, click assetripper.gui.free.exe. It should launch. This can take some time if it's the first launch. You can select the scenes that you care about. I'm not going to do any right now because it will take a lot more time and more processing power, but I'd recommend selecting a few of these important scenes like P-2 or one of the fraud layers to see how people do interesting logic. You can copy it from the base game, or I would recommend selecting some of them. For example, if you're doing a gluttony level, select 3-1, 3-2, and P-1, so you can kind of see what's going on there. I would recommend doing this earlier rather than later so that you don't need to reinstall Rude, because that will add a bit more time later and you can't easily get the levels from base game into an existing Rude install without reinstalling the editor. Click the Open Alterkill folder button, select this PC, local disk, program files x86, Steam, Steam apps, common, Alterkill, and this is your Alterkill folder, so you can just click select folder, and then just wait. Here we are. So this should open Vanity Reprised into your Asset Ripper window. Then you're going to click Generate Root Project. It's going to ask you to select a folder. I'd recommend putting it on your D drive instead of your C drive, but this is a laptop, so it's just going on my C drive. Then click Generate Project. Again, this will take some time, so just wait. Awesome. So that should be all of the assets. And you should be able to see them in your File Explorer. So now you just check, make sure that root's there, all the assets should be there. And now we're going to need to get Unity. Open up Unity. We're going to download Unity Hub. So go to the link in the description, click on it, make your Unity account. I've already done this. Then just click on download exe for the Unity Hub setup. You can open this, launch Unity Hub setup. You'll have to run this as an administrator. Give it permission. You accept the terms, you install, just wait, finish, and it should launch. You're going to sign into your account. You should go to this page. Once you sign in, you click always allow, open link, and it should properly sign you in. I agree. You're going to turn this off because we don't care about Unity 6.4. Projects, here. You're going to add a project from disk. You're going to select the root folder. This is missing editor versions. To open your project, install editor version. You're going to, it'll have you want to install all of this stuff, but you don't need to get any of this. Perfect. So once the editor is finished installing, you can just click on the root button and it should start importing, which can take a while the first time, but it should open a lot quicker in the subsequent times that you launch the project. You should be into your root level editor. So this is where all of your custom level creation will happen. You can safely close this. It should show you all the patch notes. Now that all Unity has finished installing, we can look around root. So first, when you first open your root, you should get this welcome message. It will give you a bunch of useful links. The root wiki, the new root wiki, the AlterKill custom levels one is where a lot of the information that I'm going to be talking about in this guide is also posted. So if you would prefer that format, you can go there. Click Open Root Exporter. This is a very important window, so go dock it onto the inspector over here. And then you can just close this. Now I'm just going to go on to a few useful things that you can have. So first of all, tools. You're going to want to open ProBuilder. You're going to toss ProBuilder over here. ProBuilder is a very important tool for making level geometry and texturing. And then there's a few other quality of life tools that you're going to want to install. So go to, these are all linked in the description, the AlterKill Custom Levels Wiki. And the three that I would recommend are AlterKill Setup, which you can download just at the download link. I would also recommend the AlterKill Shader Editor. And finally, I would recommend the Batching Static Fixer. All of these are tools by Bobot. So thank you, Bobot. Should be able to see them all here. These are Unity packages, and you import Unity packages in Unity by clicking Assets, Import Package, Custom Package, and then you just select them. Start with Unity Setup. Yeah, all these should be selected. Just click Import, and then wait. And open this with electrical setup here. I'll go over a bit more about how to use this one later on, but it's very helpful. Then go assets, import package again. Now that we have Rude set up, the next episode is going to talk about setting up your first scene using the Rude exporter. I am excited to talk about that. So thank you everyone for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.